Hello, and welcome to Working for the Whole Child. This presentation is part of a professional learning series supporting the Michigan Integrated Continuous Improvement Process, or MICIP. My name is Mary Teachout, and I'm the School Safety Consultant with the Michigan Department of Education. For many years, districts and schools have focused on the academic needs of students, and being educational institutions, that's entirely understandable. In recent years, though, it's become increasingly clear that academic success is influenced by many other factors, factors that, when addressed, can significantly impact that achievement. This presentation is designed to look at some of those other factors. Before talking in detail about the whole child, let's briefly talk about MICIP and how the whole child fits. At its core, MICIP is a pathway for districts to improve student outcomes by assessing whole child needs to develop plans and coordinate funds. Many times, schools have funding and need to figure out what to do with it or how to make it fit. This process is meant to shift that thinking. Needs, plans, and funds are at the core of MICIP. When we talk about MICIP, broadly speaking, we're referring to three areas: a mindset, a process, and a platform. By mindset, we mean a shift in thinking where we move from annual, episodic improvement to ongoing continuous improvement, and where a focus on the whole child and systems thinking are at the forefront. The whole child, as embodied in the WISC model, is one of three primary components of the MICIP mindset. By the end of our time together today, we're hoping that you're familiar with the whole school, whole community, whole child, or the WISC model, and that you understand how it connects to your work. The beauty of the public school system is that it teaches all students. Like adults, when students are feeling stressed, those stressors go with them wherever they are, including to school. They don't leave them at home. As adults, when we're facing challenges, most of the time we can set them aside and get our work done. But our students haven't developed those skills yet. We must address and provide supports for students by design, or we will have to deal with them by default. This slide contains some of the facts about Michigan students. Take a minute to read them. These facts will help explain a sense of urgency and the need to address more than just students' academic needs. The ASCD has been a strong advocate for the whole child and was also instrumental in collaborating with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, bringing together the school health and education communities to develop the WISC model. Read this quote from Dr. Jean Carter from the ASCD. What does it say about the relationship between the health and education communities? This quote from Sean Slade, who's the Director of Outreach from the ASCD, states, "WISC is not a model that calls for health for education's sake, nor does it call for education for health's sake. Rather, it is a call for health and education for each child's sake." What does this add to the conversation? What we take away from these two statements is that academics and health can no longer be looked at as two separate issues, and the school's only focus being on academics. Health and education are interrelated. You cannot educate a child that is not healthy and not provided needed supports outside of academics to be successful. So what is the WISC model? WISC is an acronym for whole school, whole community, and whole child. Frequently, programs and funding come into schools in fragmented and uncoordinated ways. We call this the uncoordinated school health model. It looks and feels a little chaotic. Programs and services may have been delivered in a way that have not necessarily considered the needs of families or students or best practice. Efforts may have been duplicated due to lack of communication or restrictive funding sources. MICIP and implementing the WISC model is intended to address these challenges. This illustration feels a little calmer. The whole school, whole community, whole child framework is meant to coordinate programs and services that will support and enhance a student's ability to learn. It will help reduce the duplication of efforts and allow schools and districts to have meaningful conversation around what's currently happening to support all of their students and their families. This framework places the student at the center of the model. All pieces of the framework are there to support the student's success. The 5 green tenets in the center of the framework are our ultimate goals for our students. We want them to be healthy, safe, supported, engaged, and challenged. The outer blue ring contains the 10 components that do the work to get to the middle. The white ring between the two focuses on coordinating policy, process, and practice, ensuring that the school and district have the appropriate systems and policies in place and that they're followed. As you can see, the model is surrounded by the community. Community partnerships are a critical part of ensuring the success of the framework and ultimately our students. Often you will hear this model referred to as the whole child model. While this helps shorten the name of the model, we need to be careful not to forget about the other critical pieces, the school and the community. This model's intent is to bring about more communication, collaboration, and partnerships, and we don't want that to get lost. So while we may shorten the title for ease of conversation, we still need to have a solid understanding of the whole model and process. The following slides will break down the 10 components and 5 tenets of the framework. We'll begin with the 10 components in the blue ring. Counseling, psychological, and social service prevention and intervention services support the mental, behavioral, and social emotional health of students and promote success in the learning process. A comprehensive health education curriculum with a solid social emotional learning component is critical to teaching the students the needed skills in this area. Services include psychological, psychoeducational, and psychosocial assessments, as well as direct and indirect interventions to address psychological, academic, and social barriers to learning, including individual or group counseling and consultation. These services also include referrals to school and community support services as needed. Additionally, systems-level assessment, prevention, and intervention programs designed by school-employed mental health professionals contribute to the mental and behavioral health of students, as well as to the health of the school environment. These can be done through resource identification and needs assessments, school community family collaboration, and ongoing participation in school safety and crisis response efforts. School-employed professionals can provide skilled consultation with other school staff as well as community resources and providers. School-employed mental health professionals ensure that services provided in school reinforce learning and help align interventions provided by community providers with the school environment. Professionals such as certified school counselors, school psychologists, and school social workers provide these services. Another critical piece of this component is professional learning for school staff at all levels. Often, staff indicate they know a student may be struggling or having trouble but don't know how to help or where to send the student for help. Professional learning that is strongly supported by administration will give teachers and school staff knowledge, supports, and resources to more confidently and effectively assist their students. The social and emotional climate in schools should be comfortable, safe, and nurturing. In a truly safe school, every student feels like they belong there, that they are valued, and that they are physically and emotionally safe. It is essential for students' academic achievement and employees' health and well-being. Research overwhelmingly shows that a positive social and emotional climate contributes to a higher level of school connectedness as a result of a feeling of belonging and being cared for at school. The students feel connected to staff, staff feel connected to students. They know school is a place they can learn and enjoy. It positively impacts academic achievement. This not only shows in academics, but in improved attendance, fewer behavioral referrals, fewer suspensions and expulsions, and increased graduation rate. It influences social and emotional development that results in increased pro-social behavior. It affects student engagement in school activities and relationships with other students, staff, family, and community, resulting in a better attitude towards school. A positive social and emotional climate promotes growth and development and improves prospects for employment. It deters students from engaging in risky behaviors such as substance abuse. A healthy and safe physical school environment promotes learning by ensuring the health and safety of students and staff. Things like air quality, single points of entry, and a clean and welcoming building all play a part in a safe and healthy school physical environment. The physical school environment encompasses the school building and its contents, the land on which the school is located, and the area surrounding it. A healthy school environment will address a school's physical condition during normal operation, as well as during renovations, including ventilation, moisture, temperature, noise, and natural and artificial lighting. It protects occupants from physical threats such as crime, violence, traffic, and injuries, as well as from biological and chemical agents in the air, water, or soil. It also protects from things brought into the school, including pollution, mold, hazardous materials, pesticides, and cleaning agents. We often forget that schools are not only places of learning, they are also work sites for school staff. Fostering school employees' physical and mental health protects the health and well-being of school staff, and by doing so, helps to support students' health and academic success. Healthy school employees, teachers, administrators, bus drivers, cafeteria and custodial staff, and contractors are more productive and less likely to be absent. They serve as powerful role models for the students and may also increase their own attention to students' health. Schools can create work environments that support healthy eating and active lifestyles, are tobacco-free, manage stress, and avoid injury and exposure to hazards such as mold and asbestos. A comprehensive school employee wellness approach is a coordinated set of programs, policies, benefits, and environmental supports designed to address multiple risk factors, including nutrition, physical activity, and tobacco use, as well as chronic health conditions such as diabetes and depression, to meet the health and safety needs of all employees. Partnerships between school districts and their health insurance providers can help offer resources, including personalized health assessments and flu vaccinations. Employee wellness programs and healthy work environments can improve a district's bottom line by decreasing employee health insurance premiums, reducing employee turnover, and cutting costs of substitutes. Other partnerships between local healthcare providers and local health departments may also be able to provide resources. Focusing on staff health and wellness and keeping teachers in the classroom ensures continuity of instruction, increased productivity, reduced staff stress, and a better district bottom line as a result of fewer subs and days of teachers being out of the classroom. In Michigan, school health services can have a variety of definitions. School-based health centers are housed in the schools. They are staffed like any other health center or doctor's office. Many often include mental health and dental services. These services are available to families and students. School-linked health centers are housed off the school campus, often at local health departments. Transportation to these centers needs to be provided for students. School wellness programs generally have a school nurse. School health services intervene with actual and potential health problems, including providing first aid, emergency care and assessment, and planning for the management of chronic conditions such as asthma or diabetes. In addition, wellness promotion, preventative services and staff, student and parent education complement the provision of care coordination services. These services are also designed to ensure access and/or referrals to the medical home or private healthcare provider. Health services connect school staff and students, families, communities, and healthcare providers to promote the health care of students and a healthy and safe school environment. School health services actively collaborate with school and community support services to increase the ability of students and families to adapt to health and social stressors, such as chronic health conditions or social and economic barriers to health. These services also enable students to manage these stressors and advocate for their own health and learning needs. Qualified professionals such as school nurses, nurse practitioners, dentists, health educators, physicians, physician assistants, and allied health personnel help provide these services. Schools can create an environment that offers many opportunities for students to be physically active throughout the school day. A comprehensive school physical activity program, or CSPAP, is the national framework for physical education and youth physical activity. A strong program that promotes physical education will include physical education classes, physical activity during school, including in the classroom, physical activity before and after school, staff involvement, and family and community engagement. Physical education serves as the foundation of a school's physical activity program and is an academic subject characterized by a planned, sequential, standards-based course of study that's based on state and national standards for physical education. Physical education provides cognitive content and instruction designed to develop motor skills, knowledge, and behaviors for healthy, active living, physical fitness, sportsmanship, self-efficacy, and emotional intelligence. A well-designed physical education program provides the opportunity for students to learn key concepts and practice critical skills needed to establish and maintain physically active lifestyles throughout childhood, adolescence, and into adulthood. Teachers must be certified or licensed and endorsed by the state to teach physical education. Many still don't understand the difference between physical activity and physical education. This slide is meant to help provide some clarification. Notice that physical education includes physical activity, but it also teaches the knowledge and skills needed to establish and sustain an active lifestyle using standards, just like every other content area. Families and school staff work together to support and improve the learning, development, and health of students. Engagement is different than involvement. Engagement speaks more to a partnership. Schools must acknowledge that not all parents' experiences with schools have been positive, and they must work to build relationships that encourage meaningful engagement. Family engagement with schools is a shared responsibility of both school staff and families. School staff are committed to making families feel welcomed, engaging families in a variety of meaningful ways, and sustaining family engagement. Families are committed to actively supporting their child's learning and development. This relationship between school staff and families cuts across and reinforces student health and learning in multiple settings, at home, in school, in out-of-school programs, and in the community. Family engagement should be continuous across a child's life and requires an ongoing commitment as children mature into young adulthood. Community groups, organizations, and local businesses create partnerships with schools, share resources, and volunteer to support student learning, development, and health-related activities. It is critical to have community groups and representatives involved in the continuous improvement process to allow them to see the needs of the school and offer assistance with supporting those needs. This will help avoid the issue of organizations approaching schools with programs from which they think the school can benefit and potentially applying for grants in isolation from the rest of school programming. The school, its students, and their families benefit when leaders and staff at the district or school solicit and coordinate information, resources, and services available from community-based organizations, businesses, cultural and civic organizations, social service agencies, faith-based organizations, health clinics, colleges and universities, among other community groups. Schools, students, and their families can in turn contribute to the community through service learning opportunities, encouraging partnerships with career and technical education programs, and by sharing facilities with community members such as school-based community health centers and physical fitness. Formal, structured, standard-based, comprehensive health education consists of any combination of planned learning experiences that provide the opportunity to acquire the information and skills students need to make quality health decisions and develop critical life skills. Health education standards are primarily focused on skills. Only one focuses on content knowledge. When provided by qualified trained teachers, health education helps students acquire the knowledge, skills, and attitudes they need for making health-promoting decisions, achieving health literacy, adopting health-enhancing behaviors, and promoting the health of others. Health education curricula and instruction should address the state and national health education standards and incorporate the characteristics of an effective health education curriculum. Comprehensive school health education includes curriculum and instruction for students in pre-K through grade 12 that instruct in critical skills by addressing a variety of topics, such as alcohol, tobacco, and other drug use and misuse, healthy eating and nutrition, mental and emotional health, personal health and wellness, physical activity, personal safety and violence and prevention, and sexual health. These areas are based on the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's 6 risk factors for youth. The school nutrition environment provides students with opportunities to learn about and practice healthy eating through available foods and beverages, nutrition education, and messages about food in the cafeteria and throughout the school campus. Students may have access to foods and beverages in a variety of venues at school, including the cafeteria, vending machines, grab-and-go kiosks, school stores, concession stands, classroom rewards, classroom parties, school celebrations, and fundraisers. At its core, school nutrition services provide meals that meet federal nutrition standards for the National School Lunch and Breakfast Programs, accommodate the health and nutrition needs of all students, and help ensure that foods and beverages sold outside the school meal programs meet Smart Snacks and school nutrition standards. School nutrition professionals should meet minimum education requirements and receive annual professional learning to ensure that they have the knowledge and skills to provide these services. All individuals in the school community can support a healthy school nutrition environment by marketing and promoting healthier foods and beverages, encouraging participation in the school meals programs, modeling healthy eating behaviors, and ensuring that students have access to free drinking water throughout the school day. We want to make sure that there is a continuity in messages that students are receiving. So what they're learning in their health education class with nutrition will mesh with what they are seeing when they go to their school cafeteria for lunch or breakfast. Healthy eating has been linked in studies to improved learning outcomes and helps ensure that students are able to reach their potential. Now let's move from the 10 components in the blue circle to the 5 tenets in green. The 5 tenets are our ultimate goal for all students. So we're going to take a look and see what each of these might look like in a school. I'm only going to give you a couple of examples. There are more extensive examples in the notes for the presentation. A whole child is healthy. There's consistent messaging and skill building and role modeling throughout the school. The goal is for each student to enter school healthy and learn about and practice a healthy lifestyle. In a healthy school, both school culture supports and reinforces the health and well-being of each student. Its health education curriculum and instruction support and reinforce health and well-being by addressing the physical, mental, emotional, and social dimensions of health, aligned with other practices and messages throughout the school. The school physical education schedule, curriculum, and instruction support and reinforce the health and well-being of each student by addressing lifetime fitness knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behaviors. The school facility and environment support and reinforce the health and well-being of each student and staff member. A whole child is safe. There are consistent expectations, rules, and routines, and parents are welcomed as partners. The school building, grounds, playground equipment, and vehicles are secure and meet all established safety and environmental standards. The school physical plant is attractive and welcoming. It's structurally sound and has good internal and external traffic flow, including in hallways and for pedestrians, bicycles, and motor vehicles. Traffic routes also accommodate those with special needs and are free of defects. The school physical, emotional, academic, and social climate is safe, friendly, and student-centered. Students feel valued, respected, and cared for and are motivated to learn. Students and families also have access to mental health services. The whole child is engaged. There's active learning, it's project-based and innovative. There are a variety of extracurricular activities that help encourage the connectedness to school. Apprenticeship programs and internships are available through a vibrant CTE program. Teachers will use active learning strategies such as cooperative learning and project-based learning, and use a range of inquiry-based experiential learning tasks and activities to help all students deepen and their understanding of what they're learning and why they're learning it. The school offers a range of opportunities for students to contribute to and learn within the community at large, including service learning, internships, apprenticeships, and volunteer projects while using curriculum-related experiences, such as field trips and outreach projects to complement and extend the curriculum and instruction. School policies and climate reinforce citizenship and civic behaviors by students, family members, and staff, and include meaningful participation in decision-making. A whole child is challenged. There's a rigorous, well-rounded curriculum, including the arts, foreign languages, sciences, and social studies, and there's personalized and project-based learning. Each student in the school has access to challenging, comprehensive curriculum in all content areas. The curriculum and instruction provide opportunities for students to develop critical thinking and reasoning skills, problem-solving competencies, and technical proficiency. Curriculum, instruction, and assessment demonstrate high expectations for each student, include evidence-based strategies to prepare students for further education, career, and citizenship, and develop students' global awareness and competencies, including an understanding of language and culture. The school provides cross-curricular opportunities for learning with and through technology. And the whole child is supported. There's flexible use of time and scheduling. The school is relationship focused, and we have trained and qualified staff. The school personalizes learning, including the flexible use of time and scheduling to meet academic and social goals for each student. Teachers use a range of diagnostic, formative, and summative assessment tasks to monitor student progress, provide timely feedback, and adjust teaching and learning activities to maximize student progress. The school staff understands and makes curricular, instructional, and school improvement decisions based on child and adolescent development and student performance information. The school ensures that adult-student relationships support and encourage each student's academic and personal growth. Each student has access to school counselors and other structured academic, social, mental, and emotional supports. It's no coincidence that the ASCD's whole child tenets align closely with Maslow's hierarchy. Having one's physical needs met leads to being healthy. Experiencing safety and security makes one feel safe. Experiencing love and belonging makes one feel supported. Having high levels of self-esteem and being recognized for one's efforts results in being highly engaged in learning. And being self-actualized aligns with challenged. You're a lifelong learner, a capable human being able to take on challenges academically and otherwise. At the First Brain and Learning Institute, Dr. David Souza stated that there are two huge barriers to learning: the physical and emotional health, stating that your brain will be sure you are physically and emotionally okay before it can concentrate on anything else. These take priority over cognitive processing. The Carnegie Council on Adolescent Development states that schools could do more than perhaps any other single institution in society to help young people and the adults they will become live healthier, long, more satisfying, and more productive lives. So what is the role of schools? Let's take it back to the beginning. If schools do not deal with the children's health by design, they will deal with it by default. When you are always being reactive to situations and issues, you are constantly chasing your tail. The WISC model works on prevention. Which choice will your district make? What would it have to do to fully embrace the whole child model? So how well did we do? To what extent do you understand the WISC model and its connection to your work? And as always, for more information or any further questions, you can contact us at the information given here. Thank you.